Welcome back to Deer Valley Homestead. My name's Andy, and this week we are looking after our rabbits. We have rabbits everywhere this time of year. Today we're going to clean out the main hutch and just see what everybody needs. Oh, there's our geese. Let's have a look at those. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. So we have Mum's favourite rabbit and her 6 babies. We have Diablo. We have Mr. Grey, who's gone for hiding. We have Oreo and her 6 babies. We have Mr. Brown. He doesn't really have a name, but he's brown and he's a guy, so Mr. Brown. And where have you gone? Stiga in here. What I need to do today is get ready for the next set of births, and that is Diablo and Stiga. They're both due to give birth in about 5 to 7 days time. So they need the nest boxes that have been used by the other mums. We need to switch the houses round, and we'll just give everything a good brush out, hose down. You're going to get your very own nest box. I find the easiest way to do this is just to take the rabbits out when I clean it. So we have the pen next door that they go in for their exercise anyway. So Diablo will just go in there for the next 5-10 minutes, however long it takes. And if you can see, but it's collecting it all up in her mouth. And it's at least 5 days, unless I've done the maths wrong again. We're going to clean you up, okay, Diablo? We'll put her out. Come on. Alright, drop your fur. I'll save it for you, okay? Hello, kids. You need to come out the nest box. Jesus, you're fatty. You're fatty too. So I'll take out all of the rubbish from the previous rabbits. That all goes into our compost pile. Our compost is doing pretty well this time of year. Whew. So that can wait there. She can mess around with that and sort it out when she comes back. And she can have these bits of fur that she's already pulled. Hello, geese. I'm really struggling with hay this year. The farmer has not cut it yet. Normally he cut it about 2 weeks ago, and normally we would have a fresh bed of hay by now, but not this year. So we're still using the old stuff. It's not very nice. Just one of those things. Alright, one clean water. These rabbit hutches that we made, they stay very clean. I've got one rabbit, which we'll get to, Mr. Grey. He has a problem keeping it clean. But the rest of them, it's like this. They get 1 or 2 poopers, but that's it. So they're pretty good. Everybody did warn me about it when I was making it, when I made the video, that the wood equals disease and they'll make a load of mess, but they've been really good with it. So I need to build some more rabbit hutches soon. I think I might do something pretty similar. That said, there's always a little bit of something somewhere. That's ready, water's ready. Let's pick some grass and get ourselves one Diablo back. Snack for the lady. Here is one nice new nest box for you. Okay, and some nice green stuff to eat. And of course we have to fill up your water. It's okay, it's just water. There you go. Looks like a nice place to have some baby rabbits, doesn't it? So, this is Mr. Grey. Mr. Grey is not having a good time. He's always been messy, and actually I swapped his cage yesterday, that's why this cage is not so messy yet. He's never learned to use the facilities, so he does his mess wherever he feels like it. But what I've noticed is that he has started nipping at some of the other rabbits through the mesh. So he was living below some of the babies down the end, and he was reaching up and nipping ears and things like that. So we had to move him here yesterday. Of course, when you see these things, you just do it straight away, you don't wait. But between those two traits, I don't think he's a rabbit that's going to stay around that long. Which is pretty sad, because we bought him especially for his colour and how he looked. I'm going to take it outside. There we go, buddy, there we go. I don't know, he's just not a happy guy. Now, the messiness of his enclosures I can handle. That's not a problem, you know. Bit of mess, okay. It just needs a little bit more work for me to clean it up. But the aggression towards the other rabbits, that is not something that we need to be promoting in our rabbits, right? I don't know, what would you do? I'm not going to do anything immediately, so there's time to decide. Maybe you have a suggestion on how he might be a little bit happier. I don't know. That way. Back where it came from. Now this time of year, all my rabbits are eating greens, and I give them as much as they want. We started about 2 months ago, and we literally give them a teaspoonful, and we just slowly build them up over a couple of weeks. And by this point of the summer, they are eating probably half of their diet from the greens, and they still get the pellets as well. Come on, buddy. Some nice greens for you, okay? Same cage, just cleaner. Unlike you. What's up, mama? This is our nicest rabbit. What are we going to do with you lot? You know what might be easiest? We might put Stiga out, you lot down, then I can clean your place and put Stiga. That makes sense. Alright, Stiga. I know, you're in Johnny's stinky area. Would you like to come downstairs? Try a different area? There we go. So you guys are okay. You're okay. You're okay. If you remember, one of our first ever rabbits was Johnny, who was a black rabbit. And Johnny is Mum's favourite's dad. So that's where the blacks come from. So even though we bred Mr. Grey with this lady, we still got black rabbits. Come on. Have an explore down here. And this, hey buddy, hey, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, is one of the victims of Mr. Grey. So I think what happened was his ear was dangling, and I think Mr. Grey was nibbling away. And the reason I think it's Mr. Grey is that our other male, who was also next to Mr. Grey, also got an injury. And I think whenever someone was sleeping against the mesh, then he would nip and grab and do those things. So it sucks, but it's what happened. Alright, mama, we're gonna have to take you out as well. Oh, I know you want to sit and eat the pellets, but let's put you down here. I know it stinks in there, but come on, let me close you. There we go. Alright, let's get this one cleaned out. If anyone ever tells you that homesteading is only glamorous and cute animals, they're lying to you. These guys all have two water sources. They have the ceramic bowls and they have the water drinkers. I have both just because especially the babies aren't very good at using the water nipples, so I just give it to all of them. Doesn't cost anything, doesn't take much time, why not? Alright, there's a pile of grass for you lot, and you can go back up home. 7 and 8. There you go. Get yourself some nice tasty grass, okay? Your mum will eat it all otherwise. So I'm sure you'll be able to tell that this is an absolute disaster zone. And this is where Mr. Grey has been staying. He's never learned to throw his poop down like everyone else, and he makes an absolute mess of everything. Alright, well, that's about as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm going to move on to Mr. Brown next, give him a clean out. I'm not going to put Stiga back in here, I'm going to give it an hour or two to dry, and then we'll put the house in and all that stuff. So I think by the time we clean the other ones, it'll be ready. What about you, Mr. Brown? You don't seem to need much, do you, buddy? Bit of a clean up, bit of a spruce, but you're pretty clean. So I think the last time that I cleaned these guys was before I went to England, so that's about 3 weeks ago. So you, mister, I don't think you had a single pooper up here. Well done you. Well, you made it easy for me, buddy. Then you got to clean your water. Alright, buddy. Some clean water for you. There you go, buddy. Yourself some nice fresh greens. And you lot are in Pooper City, huh? Oh dear. You know what? We're going to give you guys the deep clean as well. Alright. What do you think, Oreo? Would you like to come and stay in here for a little bit? No, don't get fighty. Coming for some green grass time. There you go, guys, there you go. Well, I really wasn't planning on moving them, but cage is a bit messy, so we'll give it a wash out like we did the other one. And then we'll stick them back in sometime tonight. The fresh grass, guys, enjoy it. Alright team, there we have it. It's a little bit windy, hopefully it's not too bad. All the rabbits are nice and clean. These last two are just drying out still. I'm going to give them another hour or two at least to dry out, as long as the rain holds off. Stiga is quite happily out here, running around eating some grass. Only Stigi. And Oreo and her babies are down here, also just eating some grass and chilling out. Geese, as you saw, are massive. But I thought I would show you a few other things while we were out here. This is how wet it has been. We are just covered in water everywhere. I will show you the veggie garden and the chickens and maybe the pheasants too. See how far we get. Our veg garden is great, however, we have so much water. I'm not sure how much you can see, but those tomatoes are just drowning. It's a swamp. These onions are doing okay. Lettuce, radish, carrots are all doing okay. But these, oh, I've forgotten the English name. Tekvitsa. What's a tekvitsa, Andy? It's not an aubergine. It's not a squash. Zucchini. These are zucchini plants. I have never in my life seen zucchinis get this big. Last year they were about half this size. And of course we have a few pumpkins for good measure. The sunflowers are coming up pretty well. I'm sure you can maybe see the difference, but these ones were planted directly to the soil, as were these ones, and these sticky ones in the middle are the ones that I started inside and then brought out. So it's great to see the difference. Corn. What's that? Cucumbers, French beans, those are all tomatoes. So we're doing all right, but there's a few updates that I owe you. Oh well, okay. Our walnut trees have come back massively. All of our chickens are fine, this group. You will see a couple of the old soup group have moved in here. And that is because, unfortunately, we had a visit from Mr. Fox while I was in England, and we lost quite a lot of them. In fact, we lost 16 out of 21. Yeah, we lost 16 out of 21. There's nothing can be done about it. It happened. In here with the pheasants, we still have a lady sitting on eggs, but I think she might be past the due date, so I'm not sure if anything is going to go on there. And over in the new aviary, pheasantry, I'm not sure what we called it in the end. We've had to make a minor adjustment. And that is that we've put another smaller net over the top. It's just a temporary thing, but I had to move the babies out here. There was a problem in the brooder shed. I'm still not sure what it was exactly. Either the food or the water or the bedding, something was contaminated, and we started losing pheasants really quickly. And as soon as I brought them out here, they've been absolutely fine, but they're still small enough that they can get through the larger holes. So I had to put this net over the top temporarily. I think another week and they'll be fine. So in here we have the two you saw move in a couple of weeks ago, and then we also have the three who have moved in since. And I think that might be the golden over there. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the golden. So yeah, I really don't know what happened with the pheasants. They were all fine. We hadn't lost any for 3 weeks, and then we lost one day, and I was like, oh, okay, well that happens. The next day we lost 3. So I changed out all the water, I changed out all the bedding, and I changed out all of the food. And the next day we lost 6 more. So these 3 were looking pretty ill as well. So I just brought them out here and chucked them in the hope that the change of environment, something would make a difference. And thankfully these 3 are okay. So not our best few weeks ever, losing as many animals as we have, but sometimes it just happens. There's no good reason for it. And when there is a reason, that's something we have to learn from. It's just part of what we're doing. Should have put my wellies on. This is ridiculous. It's mid-June. Can you believe it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I am off to start cooking some dinner. And we'll be back next week with a much longer and much maybe more interesting video. Maybe that's the wrong word. Oh, I'm flooding the pond. I've got to go back this way now. We'll be back next week with a much longer video. I've got about 10 ideas of what it's going to be, so I have no idea what it's going to be. It might be a new rabbit tractor. It might be the next part of the aviary. Or it might even be at the other house with the grapes. I'm not sure yet, so let's see. Anyway, let's do it. See you then.